2 Timothy 4:16 and 17 say this, "At my first defense, no one stood by me, but everyone deserted me. May it not be counted against them, but the Lord stood with me and strengthened me, so that the proclamation might be fully made through me, and all the Gentiles might hear. So I was rescued from the lion's mouth." We see here that we may not always have a lot of support. We may not always have a lot of people around us that believe in what we believe in. They might be Christians, they might be good people, but they don't have the same vision that we have. Now, maybe somewhere along the line we thought that they were going to, support us and stick with us and walk with us and help us to do what we believe God has called us to do. But that's not always true. Maybe when the time comes, they back out. They back out in a way they desert us. We feel rejected. We feel like we've been taken advantage of or something. But look at what is said here. Look at what is said here about that. First, it is said, do not count that against them. And we have to be careful about this. Yes, it's true. If somebody promises to do something for you or to help you, they should follow through. But if it's not this, if they don't have the same vision, if they don't have the same drive and the same passion for what is going on, they're not going to be of much help. They may be walking along with you, but they're not really going to be much help. There's not going to get much accomplished because each and every person has to do what God calls them to do. Sometimes it's in groups, there's many people involved, and sometimes it's alone. So the first thing is, don't hold it against them. Pray for them that, that they're doing the right thing, that they're really truly following God's vision for their life. But then here's the important part in verse 17. But the Lord stood with me. If God has called you to do something, if God has given you a vision for something, that's the key. If it's from God, He will stand with you. God will never desert you. If you're doing what He has called you to do, He's not going to desert you. That doesn't mean that everything's always going to be easy and go smooth, but ultimately, in the end, God's going to triumph. And He's going to triumph through you. You see, God has chosen in this world, through the ages, to work through people. Even in the Old Testament, we saw that God worked through the Old Testament prophets. He worked through people like David, through Abraham, through Solomon, through Joseph. You see, God works through people. God could just sit up there and snap His fingers and point, and all this stuff would happen. People would automatically get saved. People would automatically do this. People would automatically understand who He is. But God has chosen to work through people. That's why why Jesus said to go and make disciples. That's why Jesus said, you will be my witnesses. That's why we're told in Corinthians we have been given the ministry of reconciliation. That's why we're told we will be ambassadors. Because God has chosen to work through people. And once we give our life to Him, once we give ourselves to Him, once we become a child of God, God starts to try to reveal His plan for us. The closer we get with Him, the more we spend time with Him, we can discern His vision for our lives and His plan for our lives. Maybe we don't understand it fully, but we start to comprehend these things, and we need to move towards it, whether other people come along or not. Because I've heard this, that you and God equals the majority. And that is so true. Because God is so much bigger than any one person. God is so much bigger than any one group. God is so much bigger than everybody in the world. If every single person in the world came together to do something, God's still bigger than that. God can stop it. There's no force in this world that can stop God from accomplishing His will and His plan. Now, we can grieve the Spirit. We can not do our part. We can just say no and be rebellious. But God's going to work his plan one way or the other, with or without us. But if we follow through with what God's plan is for our lives, if we really spend time with him, develop an intimate relationship with him, God will stand with us. And we will get his strength. We will get his wisdom. We will get his love, his perseverance, and his passion. And his will end up being accomplished through us, so that the proclamation might be fully made through me. God wants to use you. The only thing that stops God from using you is you. It's not God's issue. It's not his fault, because he's right there. He's ready to give you the strength. Really release your life to him each and every day. It's such a powerful thing in your life. It can bring you the greatest satisfaction and contentment by following him, being in his will, and allowing him to be your strength, so that you can, at the end of your life, hear him say to you, your life counted for my kingdom. If this video has been encouraging in any way or has helped you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you'd like to make a comment, ask a question, please feel free, and may God always bless you.